Hello. Let's see, I'm not seeing any comments yet, so I will just assume that I'm on my own here, or it could simply be that I am. I made a mistake and didn't make this public. Let me check. Let me check. Do. Switch account. There we go. And if I go to YouTube Studio, let's see here. All right, it is the 19th. And I have everything set up. And it says it's live. It is public. All right. So anyway. Hello, everybody. I hope you're well. Let me see. Did it show up here? Just double checking. All right. Well, in that case, it's just me. Hello. All right. So let me just tell you two things. One, I'm finally making progress on the writing. I have, so far today, I have 1,243 words. So I have over 1,000 words today, so I'm very pleased. I am finally making some progress, which makes me really, really happy. The other thing that I wanted to mention, if I can get the right notebook, I have these older moleskin notebooks, some of which are really old, as in falling apart. But I wanted to share something that I found really helpful as far as just a simple way to keep track of kind of what's going on. Maybe it's because I was in art school. I don't know. But even when I was just growing up and when I was studying for things, I like having an overview, like a one-page overview. It's to an extreme, to be honest. What I would actually do to study for tests is, instead of just copying my notes again to study, I would actually take a big art page and I would write the notes out so I could visualize the different parts. So this might just be something that I do, but I do find that, when you're dealing with a whole novel, there's so much, there's so many pages, it's so involved that it can be overwhelming. So I got the old notebook, and I split it up like this. So I have this simple overview of the whole story. Okay, and I'll walk through this. So what this is, we talked about on the 1st, it was either October 31st or it was November 1st. I briefly went over the idea of the instead of using a 3-act structure, it's the idea of using that where the second act is twice as long as Act 1 or Act 3. Don't do that. Just split that one in half so it's a 4-act structure, because really that's kind of what it is, because once you've passed the midpoint of the story, that should be different from the Act 2 that came before the midpoint. So 1, 2, there's midpoint, 3, 4 for the acts. And then what they used to do with screenplays back in the day, when they had the gargantuan reels, heavy, insanely flammable. Hey, hello, Deb. Hello. anyway, I'm just gonna keep talking, going through this, and then we'll catch up and do talk about the writing and stuff, if that's okay. So back when they, you could only fit between like 10 and 15 minutes on one of those great big reels. Hello, Allison. So that's kind of a human attention span kind of thing for storytelling. So even today, if you look at, I don't know what, I mean, the first thing that jumped to my mind was the first Captain America movie, where if you go through it, it's like the first 15 minutes. Hello, Sandy. The second 15 minutes, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and it's broken down 15-minute increments, and that corresponds to Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4. And the circles I'm drawing in the air I'm visual, so they're 2 clock faces for a 2-hour movie. But it works out in writing as well, writing novels. So anyway, so with the idea, and then what I do is with that 8 section structure, I personally split it up into 3 chapters per section. So to write a full novel length, I mean, a category romances are like, let's say 60,000 words. Those Harlequin romances, the paperbacks, those are 60,000 words. But it's a novel, a proper novel length, at least used to be 80,000 words. Well, 8 sections, 10,000 words per section gets you 80,000 words. So take 10. Okay, I'm probably just talking crazy here. I'll grab this moleskin because I always need something to write on. All right, so all right, let me just, what I was just talking about, these are really badly drawn. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What I was talking about with the clock, where you have the first hour of a movie, first 15 minutes, second, third, fourth, there's your midpoint, fifth, sixth, seventh. This is how I visualize storytelling, as far as like if I'm writing a screenplay or anything like that. So and then so in each of these 8 sections, I do 3 chapters. And since we're after 80,000 words, 8 sections, 10,000 words each. Words total. That is 3,334 words per chapter, roughly, which is 24 chapters. And you might think, oh, pants, I don't outline. This isn't useful for me. Hear me out. Oh, thank you, Deb. 80,000 words is the standard. Now you can do 72. You could do 60,000. I mean, Old Man in the Sea is only 50,000 words. That's what Nano is based on. A very, technically it's a novella, but sure, okay. We'll go with 50. Whatever. You can break this down however you'd like based on what your total is. But this is what I aim for. It just helps me organize my thoughts and to know, like, if if I've given enough attention to certain chapters, or if I glossed over some things that are necessary, because each of these sections has a very specific purpose. So, all right. So this is this information. Okay. So what I did, and I put this one together a long time ago. I mean, I was showing earlier in this moleskin that is seriously falling apart. I mean, it doesn't even close properly. I mean, that's not me being funny. That doesn't actually, you have to like shove things together. But yeah, I think the first page on this is 2008. I didn't use it straight through, but anyway. But right where I was, what I did is I took 2 pages. Should have kept here we go. Should have kept hold of that. What I did is I took 2 pages, and I know it's going to be too small to read, but the point is I took and I counted down 24 lines. So this is section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And then for each chapter, I know that I need a goal. What is a character's goal? What is the conflict in that chapter? I mean, this is really, 10,000 foot view kind of. This isn't, oh my gosh, this is not like super detailed outlining. This is just the character needs a goal when they come into the chapter. What is the main conflict in that chapter? And then other than the very last chapter, there's usually some kind of disaster. And I would just make a note, just a couple of words. What's the goal? In this one, this is a book. I actually have most of it written, but never quite pulled it together in the end. Maybe I will someday. But anyway, this is the upshot of this story is that some kind of glittery substance starts kind of snowing down on a small town, and everybody is suddenly unconscious except for some teenagers who are somewhere around 18. And so the main character wakes up on the floor of her kitchen and trying to figure out what's going on. And there's this weird glittery substance, and she kind of gets up. She's trying to figure out what's going on, and everything is like amplified. And that's kind of the slug line for the story, which is everything amplified. So chapter 1, the goal, what's happening? Survival, protect. I just put what's happening, survival, protect. And the protect is protect her little sister. And then conflict, glitter, intensity, saturation, dizzy. Disaster, end of chapter 1. She finds her parents unconscious. So it's just basic. Oh, Sandy. Oh yeah, I've got unfinished books. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Why do you think I need all the bookshelves? But anyway, so I just broke it down, and then because they're combining multiple things. Creating a goal, conflict, and disaster is its own kind of tip and trick for whatever you're writing, if it's a scene or if it's a chapter. But the other thing that goes along with this that a lot of people forget is over on this side, emotion, dilemma, decision. So somewhere along here, she goes into a chapter with a goal. There is some kind of horrible conflict. Okay. Now, either at that point, but usually after the disaster, and I just want to point out, it doesn't always after the disaster. It kind of bleeds over between the conflict, and then things get even worse. But it's after the disaster, the character needs to have just at least a small emotional reaction. And that's why you get some books where it's like, what's going on? It didn't really grab me. It didn't. Well, one of the ways that we feel what's happening to other, how we feel what's happening to characters is it's what are they feeling? What are the people around them feeling that they can, if they can tell? Hey, Rebecca. Then, so it's taking time to put in, this disaster creates what kind of emotion? What kind of dilemma is this person in? So she's trying to think through, what do I do now? How do I do this? How do I react? And then finally, she makes a decision. The decision becomes the goal in the next chapter. So I sat down and I worked through all of this. So I have there the 8 sections with the 3 chapters in each section. And for every chapter, goal, conflict, disaster, emotional reaction, dilemma that she's in or he's in, decision, plan, which loops back into the next chapter. Except obviously the last one. I mean, because you're wrapping things up. So I wanted to show this to you because it can be really useful to, first I did this all in pencil. And then when I had it in a some sort of decent-ish kind of, I thought it was, roughly kind of what how I really want to keep it. I went back over the pencil with a pen. Rebecca, sorry if I've already covered this. Where did you find this information? I've found it in multiple places. This is a combination of multiple ideas from, and if you go back and to just before you came in, I was talking briefly about how this also corresponds to, I picture 2-hour movies like this, where, and if you ever go watch, you poor thing, go watch Captain America, First Avenger, right? You can time it. It toward the end, it gets right in here, it gets just a little bit screwy, but it's that movie and a lot of especially big blockbuster movies where they want it to appeal to as many people as possible. They're broken into these very rigid, not rigid 15-minute sections. And that's, so it's that from Screenplay, which is a great, it's a way that people are now more and more, there's more bleed between novels and movies because people are used to storytelling and the commonalities between the two. So they're kind of expecting something to move along, and they're expecting that midpoint in the middle of the book. So it's breaking the story up that way. Then I explained why I've got 24 chapters, which is 3 chapters per chapter. And then, here we go. Sandy, in various writers' workshops and conferences, I learned to vary the chapters in length, which I've been doing. Is that old-fashioned? No, what it comes down to is what's best for the story. I mean, ultimately, it comes down to what's best for the story. It's why I aim for 80,000 words. But like my first novel that is out there in the world, it's 113,000 words. I mean, and it was before I learned a lot of this stuff too. So it's actually got 5 parts. So there's I think there's 5 part 1, part 2, part 3. You have to do what's best for the story, ultimately. But this is what I aim for. 80,000 words, 24 chapters, and each, as you go through the story, and I'll cover this at a later day, to vary the emotional. This following the structure will vary the emotions throughout the book, so you don't run into situations like I did. When was it? I can't remember when it was, but I remember reading. It was actually it was actually more. It wasn't paranormal romance. It was more like paranormal with romance, with some romance. But the heroine and the hero, they had the same argument over and over and over. And it was like, so you need the variety. But ultimately you do what the story needs. But what I aim for to start with is more structured. So that's what I do. Rebecca, one of the things I liked best about the Black Panther was how they combined and balanced the movie into sections. Yeah. In general, I have found, the more money they have risked on a movie, the more tightly it will conform. And the only exception, and it's not much of an exception, is the first hour of the Avengers movie, the group one. They roll the Loki arrives on Earth, and then I don't know why suddenly everything's dark. Loki arrives on Earth, and then he gets away, and then they roll the credits. They roll the credits at 11 minutes in, which gives you a little bit more time for the character introductions. Black Widow, Natasha going after Bruce Banner to recruit Bruce Banner and Tony Stark and all this. So it gives it, but it's still it's pretty accurate. But certainly that movie instead of having 8 sections, actually the 8 I showed you, it actually has 9. But certainly after you get through those initial introductions, it's pretty good there, but it's after that. And it doesn't mean it's formula. It's just, it's less risky. So like I said, what I do is I aim for extreme structure, and I don't always get that. Sorry, I'm trying to tidy myself up here. I aim for real structure, and I don't always get there. But if I aim for it, I'm more likely to create something that's going to be accessible to a widest number of people. Rebecca, how action was interwoven with the history, dialogue, emotions. So you get the variety. Sandy, my current series is paranormal with mystery. Ooh, is there a particular agency or publishing house that accepts paranormal? I'm not trying to go the traditional publishing route. I basically stopped trying to do that about 10 years ago or so, or just over 10 years ago. But back in the day, I know that there was Writer's Market, and I believe they still make it. Great big, chunky book, and you can look under novels, and it'll list agents who are saying if they accept or not It's paranormal specific genre. It falls under fantasy. It's modern day fantasy is what it is. So, but they'll often list that. I haven't had a writer's market book in many years. If I had one, I'd go grab it right now and show you but agents sign up for that. You don't submit to the publishing houses. You submit to agents if you want to go the traditional route. The big publishing houses, they won't look at your stuff. It has to come through an agent. But I'm more of the self-publishing anyway. I like the control. I like the higher royalty rates. Toward the end of the month, I'm going to talk more about that. Writer Magazine. Not MAGA? I used to have a copy of Writer's Market back in the day. Okay, Rebecca, they do, I think, at least once a year. Oh, Writer's Magazine and Writer's Digest will have them too. There you go. So if you want to go that route, it's still out there. You have choices. We have choices now we didn't have before. So anyway, this is what I really wanted to share with you guys, was just this idea of having this simple overview of your story. And a lot of this, or at least some of this, maybe I had some notes, but I was able to work out rough ideas for where the story was going just with this. Hey, Sarah. Sarah's actually seen this before. Sarah and I have actually had a discussion about this, but this can be really useful for just having this overview. All right, so that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. Let's see. Sandy, I've not had any success going the traditional avenue, so I look forward to hearing your ideas about alternative methods of publishing. Okay. Oh yeah, I mean, I've published through KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, which is Amazon. It's how you get your books on there. Matter of fact, I've got it written down on the website, Book Art Media website, for one of the last days of the month. I was going to share with you a place where you can get a free file, which will format your book. You can use to format your book, I should say, because the book formatting is an issue. It can go horribly awry. And hang on. I've shown you guys this, but if you go through page by page on this, acknowledgments, I mean, there's a very specific format. Author's note, part 1, we will not fail, chapter 1. And then, there are no page numbers on the first page of the chapter 1, but then you do have page numbers, and the author's name goes on the left, name of the book goes on the right, and it's very specific. And then when there's a new chapter, because I think, there's a new chapter there, no page number. And chapters, even if you have to leave a blank page over here, chapters always begin on the right. So you've got this is how a book is properly formatted. Right? I just bought this because I love this story. This is a great book. I've read the ebook. I've listened to the audiobook. So I finally said, you know what? I'm breaking down. I'm getting getting a hard copy, right? So I get it. This was, even Amazon was pushing this at one point, right? And I open it up and, oh, look at that. Isn't that great? The cover, or that we don't really have fly leaves anymore. They don't necessarily spend a lot in the front like I did there with those extra pages, but sure. Okay. I accept it. Chapter 1. Here's this is a work of fiction, copyright notice. Fine. Okay. Chapter 1. All right. No page number. Fair enough. Space between the paragraphs. What is that? Okay. The whole book's that way. There are no page numbers. There's space between every paragraph and there are no page numbers. And there are no page numbers. There's nothing saying what book it is, who the author is. Oh, man. Allison, I saw a video on genres that are out of style. I think they said portals are out. What do you mean portals? Scam. That's actually a scam known as book stuffing. Well, the thing is, though, is that this book was promoted on Amazon. Not like he signed up for it. Like Amazon themselves was promoting this book because it's really good. It's the beginning of a series. And the text is actually smaller. Let me see a comparison. The text is smaller than it should be. So he's not stuffing it. This is just poorly done. But I got you covered. If you ever need to, or you want to make a print copy of your book, there are some persnickety things about it. The spine is actually the biggest problem, but I can save you from doing this, and it won't cost you anything. That is horrible formatting. So, but anyway, Allison, you were asking about portals are out. What do you mean portals? What kind of portals? Are we talking like Stargate? Or are we talking about like Portal, the video game, which is awesome? Portal 2 is even better. Has one of my favorite funny things in it about when life gives you lemons. Funniest thing. Sarah, so glad you touched on the overview. I've got a notebook I try to keep with me that I work on those with an idea, if an idea strikes and I'm out in the wild. Oh, good. Oh, Sandy, I have 2 books on Amazon, 2 published by Publish America, 1 by Ex Libris. Okay, cool. Well, congratulations. Lynette saying Alessandra Torre has some great videos on indie publishing. Cool. Thanks for sharing your organization methods. Oh, organization methods. I got you covered. The cake, the lie. Yes, the cake is a lie. Yes, doors to other worlds. Paranormal isn't out of style. Well, depends what you do with it. I mean, you can still come out with vampire stories and they will still sell. But you're going to have to come up with your own take on it. And publishers love that. Stuff that they want the same, only different. Ultimately. There are exceptions, but in general, same, but your own take on it. So, or just so well crafted that it's powerful. So anyway, Rebecca. Oh, wait. Sandy, my problem is marketing the self-published ones. None of these cost me anything, but they are both print on demand and expensive. Okay. Well, actually, this is print on demand in the sense of with modern publishing at Amazon, you give them the file, the image, for the flat. This is called a flat. And I'll probably go over this again at the end of the month. If you lay this flat, this is what it's one piece of card. And this is what they used to take around to bookstores. Like buyers for Barnes and Noble, the publishing houses would come in with a whole bunch of flats and lay them down. And yeah, buyers were making decisions that never even saw the interior of the book, just the flats. But having said that, this is somebody orders this book from Amazon, they just print it up and they send it out. And another one. And so these days, that's how it's done. It's all print on demand, with unless it's getting into Barnes and Noble or something like that. So maybe things are better. I'm hoping, Sandy. Rebecca, actually, if the book is well written, some houses will publish even if certain ideas are passé. Exactly. Allison, I think paranormal's still in. Yeah. Rebecca, paranormal's always in. There's a huge audience for it. Yeah. There's certainly people, paying their rent with even like, I don't know, random werewolf stories. So do you have to pay up front? No. Nope. No, there's no upfront payment to use Kindle publishing. So yeah, I mean, unless you're going to, some people will. I design my own covers, but you can buy covers, or you could pay somebody to format for you, but you don't have to. And that's why I was going to share with you something so you could just put your own information in, and ta-da, you've got it formatted, so you don't have to pay. So anyway. I meant for hard copies. Now that you can't get right now that I'm aware of, unless, who was it? Lulu? No, it's not Hulu. Lulu. Back in the day, way back when, like 15 years ago, there was before KDP really took off, there was a different publishing house or different place where you could do self-publishing, and I think they offered hardcovers. But these days, no, you can only get. I mean, this Warship is this is a 6x9. This is obviously smaller than that, but they're standard sizes, but they're all soft cover. So Lulu, thank you, Lynette. Rebecca's saying Charlene Harris does all paranormal, but she does several subgenres, mystery, romance. Okay. Sarah, I think did you have to pay for Create Space? No, but Create Space has been absorbed into KDP. They bought them. Amazon bought them. So now when you go into it, it's actually kdp.com. It's Kindle Direct Publishing. When you go in, you can set up your book. So, well, you're welcome. She meant, did you have to pay? No, I think, unless I'm misunderstanding. Toward the end of the month, I was going to kind of walk you through when you go into KDP, when you put a book in, I was going to show you what it looks like. So, but anyway, so that was my thing for today. Having this overview was really the key thing, because we'll get to this. And this is such a shame because it's such a good story, but overview can be very useful. All right, that's all I've got. And 1,243 words I wrote today, and the day is not even done yet. So, and I believe you guys had you were giving me some numbers earlier. Let's see. Oh, did I miss it? I could have sworn somebody said there how many words I'd written. Oh, Sandy, I've sold 3 KDP books in the past 10 years. That's the marketing problem. I understand. It's the marketing and the publishing and marketing thing is it's kind of its own thing, its own can of worms. But there are groups that are very. We'll get into it toward the end of the month. We will. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Deb, by the way, no words for me. I went to bed early to try and heal. Understandable. It did work somewhat. Hopefully I can get back on track now. Well, I just hope you're feeling better. So I'm glad you got some rest. Rebecca, yay, Sandy. Woohoo, yay. Oh, me, yay, me. Thank you. Deb, Sandy, thank you so much for your gems, Sebastian. You're welcome. Rebecca wrote 845 words. Yay. Rebecca, yay for selling the books you did, Sandy. That's true. That's true. Allison, 488 words. Yay. Yay. Oh, making progress. Look at us. Look at us making progress. All right. Yay for Allison, absolutely. Yes, you are all so awesome. I agree, Sarah. Lynette, don't ask. I need to write tonight. That's fine. I'm going to be writing tonight, you know. Allison, I got another idea for a chapter. Yes. All right. We're all awesome. I agree, Rebecca. All right. Well, it's we're about 45 minutes in, so I'm tired. I do need to go find some dinner and try to let my brain rest a little bit. Yeah, it wasn't the easiest. The other live stream I did today wasn't the easiest one, but definitely worth doing. And my brain is tired. But oh, Allison, I plan to get some more serious writing done tonight. Awesome. And yeah, let my brain relax for a little bit, and then get back to the writing. So I'm starting to feel better about things. So, gonna make progress. And I think, thank you, Sarah. Have a great evening. Yes, have a great evening. There's something I was gonna say. Oh, I think I'm nearing 10,000 words. And I know it's the 19th, but I'm nearing 10,000 words I didn't have before. And I'm suddenly making progress. So I'm hoping that I can ramp up. But anyway, all right. Let's see. Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening. Deb says, Rebecca, today's Black and Orange. I was only able to pop in as I was walking my grand dogs. Oh, it was a really good one. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. It felt very chaotic to me. Sandy, bye all. Stay safe and well. Mask up. Yes, yes. Everybody stay safe. Stay safe, please. Please. Oh, please. I worry. Sarah, woohoo. Deb, wow. 10,000. I'm almost at 10,000. So. Thank you, Rebecca, and thank you, Deb. Allison, I'm going to go check out Black and Orange after this while I run errands. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I wasn't begging for viewership. I was just saying that my brain is tired. But anyway, thank you for everything. And thank you for doing this with me this month. It has made a huge difference. Huge difference. And I really appreciate you. All right. So hang in there. Happy writing. Yes. Good job, everyone. I agree, Rebecca. Good job. Well done. Happy writing. All right. Hang in there. And I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Just stay safe. Stay safe. Please. Please, please. All right. I'll see you tomorrow.